You ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Well, good evening there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Oregon Trail Council Fireside Chat. I've started off the last couple of sessions with good evening, Oregon Trail Council, but I decided not to do that tonight. Just a mild, easy opening. We have with us tonight our Scout Executive, Scott Impekoven, and a range of our other executives from across the council. Thank you so much. We got Sandy, Melissa, Sherry, thank you. Our special guest tonight is Kelsey Wood, who is the chair down at the mighty Doug Ford District. And he's got some perspectives on scouting and school access that I believe all of us will find relevant. But before we begin, Scott, you had a couple of things you really need to tell us about. Can you do that, please?
Yeah, start off by letting everybody know, if you haven't heard already, we found out on Tuesday, I guess it was. Today's Thursday. So Tuesday, we found out that they will be postponing the National Jamboree. You know, and I sent something out to everybody from our council that is interested and has expressed interest in going to the National Jamboree, and said, you know, it's disappointing that we heard it, but also exciting. And the reason I said that is it's disappointing because anybody that is of the age that they're going to age out then, you know, they may not be able, they may not have the opportunity to go. The exciting part of it is that we can readjust. We had changed our tour package to reduce the cost. You know, we were going to have challenges with fundraisers to raise the funds for our youth to go to the National Jamboree, and we were still looking to fill the rest of our contingent. Now we've got some extended time period, and we can adjust those and hopefully just have a great experience for as many youth in our council as we can have. So as of right now, they do not have the new date set up. They've got a group that's going to be looking at that, and then they'll turn around and let us know, and we'll get the word out as soon as possible. But that the National Jamboree will not be happening in 2021, and we'll let everybody know as soon as we know when the new dates are set. Day camp, the registration for day camp is up and live on the council website. It's a virtual day camp. They've got some great ideas set up as far as the opportunities for the scouts to take advantage of, and we also have a box that they'll get as part of that whole process. So we're looking forward to that. The fee, we tried to keep it as basically it's just covering the cost of the box and other things that we've got to do. But the fee is basically is $25, and it is live and available now for everybody to go on and register on the council website, www.otcbsa.org. What else? Joining special. We have a joining special right now for the remainder of this month. As you all probably know, as of August 1st, the fees changed somewhat in that the fees will increase from $33 up to $66. Plus the insurance fee, and there will be an additional joining fee for anybody new to the program, new to scouting. It'll be a $25 joining fee. So for the remainder of this month, what we've done is said, join now. You save those monies. Not only do you save that money, but we'll sign you up and get you registered for day camp, and you'll save that $25 cost. It will not cost you the $25. You can do that for free. So a great opportunity. We really encourage all of our scout groups, our scout families, our scouts to get the word out to their friends and invite them to join scouting now and save a lot of money if you do it by the end of July. The last thing, really exciting news as far as I'm concerned, is we had a special meeting yesterday of our ad hoc capital committee, and the group came forward with a proposal that we took to the board. That proposal was that we raise, part of the proposal was that we raise $100,000, at least $100,000
Camp Baker, right?
Pardon?
Camp Baker, right?
Camp Baker. I'm sorry, what'd I say? Yeah.
No, that's fine. I want to be clear.
Yeah. And all regarding um, regarding capital improvements at Camp Baker. Those include, hopefully, we'll wrap this in and put some foundation requests out to include shower house, a camper shower house at Baker, a new health lodge facility, both very, very badly needed. Shore up and take care of our waterfront area, and also hopefully provide a new staff shower house area as well. We will be looking at possibly taking some money that's been approved to take up to $150,000 from our endowment for the future of scouting in our council. We'll see if we have to do that or not.
Jim, you're mute.
We didn't hear that last figure clearly. Could you repeat that last dollar figure?
About the endowment?
Yes.
Yeah, $150,000 from the endowment. We have a $5.3 million endowment at this point. Up to, I will say again, Jim, up to $150,000. Hopefully we don't have to do that. If things go according to plan, we should be in pretty good shape as long as we get a matching from a foundation that we think we have a pretty good shot at. The great thing in my mind is that the other part of this proposal and motion that was made by the board was to run a capital campaign to raise at least $100,000. By the end of the meeting yesterday afternoon, we had already raised $40,000. Within 3 hours after getting the notice out and asking for a vote from the board, we raised an additional $5,000. So we've already raised $45,000 towards that minimum $100,000 goal from of a new capital campaign for those improvements at Baker. So that was really exciting. We've got some ideas of some other asks that we're going to make, but I will also throw out, if you know of anybody that has an interest in participating in that capital campaign and helping us with those improvements out at Camp Baker, send them our way. We'll be glad to talk to them. So that was really exciting news, and look forward to some much needed. You know, I look, and I think the last few years, Camp Baker has really come alive. And we've had some great improvements, and we look, all of our properties, I think, have had some great improvements. We're looking for some additional improvements that not only helps us serve our scouts in our council, but also helps us serve the community. There's great opportunities. We have several different groups that use Camp Baker. We have plenty of potential. We've had several school districts use it for outdoor program, their outdoor program or outdoor school. And we have several others that have expressed interest. And this just makes it more appealing for those groups to come in and use Camp Baker during the course of the year. So that's the council.
That's good. That's absolutely great. And the fact that you got immediate response from the board is that's pretty gratifying.
Yeah.
We need that to happen. So let's if we can, let's move on ahead. This is exciting, and we can talk about this all night. But let's do some other excitement with my dear friend Kelsey down south. 1, 2, 3. You're on, Kelsey.
Okay. So you were asking me, you heard about the fact that we've put 3 units, and we're probably going to be another 4th here pretty soon. 3 Cub Scout units and a Boy Scout troop. Looking at things a little differently. How do we get back into schools? Our problem in the Doug Fir district has been we've been virtually locked out of schools, and that's really hurt us badly. You lose your Cub Scout packs, then you start to lose your Boy Scout troops, and you're not in the schools anymore. So we've been hammering away at this for easily 10 years, trying to crack this nut and kind of put together a new concept that's worked really well, again, for these 4, 5 units. In that instead of looking at the schools as a place to meet or a recruiting center, we've been looking at schools in a partnership basis. all schools in some capacity have created their own nonprofit. They'll call it their booster club, or they'll call it their parent teachers network, or their parent teacher association, whatever they call it. And what we found is if we go in and say, we would like to partner with your parent teacher organization, we would like to give your parent teacher organization, your booster club, a youth group, where that youth group can help do projects around the school. We can partner with the kids. That's
Hey! Sorry, the
okay.
kids were like, what is that?
Nathan.
Quick,
Oh, that's
That's
good.
Joe.
There we go. Now
There we go.
Uh,
Glad to see you.
So I composed a document. I'm happy to share it for just a half a second. I'm going to try to do a screen sharing. Let's see how good I am with screen sharing. There we go.
No pressure.
Put together some of the nuts and bolts to this in a positive spin, in that we know how good scouting is as a family youth organization, and schools are looking for that. Schools are reaching for outside help, outside organizations. They have a more and more difficult time. And look at this long-term scouting organization and look at what it's done for kids and families, and how if we partner with schools, we can help them help their kids and family. Then we go into if anyone has ever looked at the chartering organization agreement, you'll find a pretty impressive document. And if some units have missed the opportunity of how valuable their chartering organization should be. And that chartering organization document is quite the security for the school to say, we respect the aims and objectives of the chartering organization. And that their scout unit is the booster club or parent teacher network youth group. It's their own youth group. It's their own program. They have total control of it. Usually the principals are the head of the organization. They have the final say on things. And this reassures them, look, principal, we just want to help your own organization, help your own school and your own kids and your own kids' parents. And here's that legal document that helps do that. Give them a little more about scouting. Many teachers, principals don't know some of the basics about scouting, of course, our oath, law, etc. And then remind them a little about the fact that scouting's been around a long time, and it wasn't just a group of people that got together and created a neat youth group. It was Congress that chartered the Boy Scouts way back. Where is it? In, oh, I don't know. I don't have the date. Long time ago.
You weren't there.
What was that?
1916.
1916. That is a long time ago. I'll stop sharing now. So when we go in, we find relationships with their nonprofit organization, their booster club, their PTN, PTA, or whatever. We show how we are a value to them. We want to help them out. We're a resource for them, and that resource for them is going to help the kids and their parents. And that we want to work under their legal umbrella. We want to give them a youth group, and it's their PTO or PTN or booster club. It's not us using their facility. It's us giving them a youth group to let who's already their facility, and we've had some success with that.
What kind of success have you had? You opened up a whole lot of schools, or what?
Yeah, we have. So our first success was up in Yoncalla, and although it's not chartered right, the charter was actually the school, and it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be the booster club.
We'll talk about that.
Well, a little overboard on that one.
Yeah.
And then the next one was Hillcrest Elementary School. They haven't had a Cub Scout pack there in a long time. We met with their booster club. We rolled this offer out. They couldn't say no. They were thrilled. They were like, wow, how could we say no about this? And then the next one that just got on the books, I think this week, Cub Scout Pack and Troop 109. Jim Mason, by the way, LDS member. Both of those are LDS members. are enjoying the fruits of having a close relationship with the schools, having this legal umbrella, legal relationship. Look, we're not an outside organization that you have to be fearful of and have no control over. We want to be part of your organization. We want to listen to you. We want to help you out. And we've got another one, Melrose, who's given the green light with the virus and everything. We've slowed down a bit in that all of these units can't use the schools. And I don't suspect they'll be able to use the schools for an indefinite period of time. We don't know how long our dearest COVID-19 will be around.
Yeah, that's
So, what we've done is we've got a little creative, and I see Becca down there. She's got a wonderful church that has offered to host some scouting units. And we found another church that doesn't have a scouting unit when the district lost its use of the Phoenix school. We started to look around and we found a church, didn't have a unit, didn't have any association. They said they're all positive about scouts. They're letting the district meet once a month in their church facility. And we said, by the way, we've got about 5, 6, 7 units that have lost their place to meet. And they're like, okay. And they're not even gonna charge us.
okay. That's cool. Scott had a perspective here.
Well, I was just going to ask Kelsey, when you approach the parent-teacher organization and in Jan Cullen's case, the school, how much support or help did you get from them as far as help finding adult leadership for those units?
We rolled it right out in front at the very beginning to say, if you're going to have a scout unit, you're going to have to come up with some leadership.
Okay.
We just put it right out.
And that's great, because I will tell you, and we were talking about this a little bit ago, that all too often we look at an area and we say, oh boy, we don't have scouting in that area. We go out and we have a joining night and we get all the kids in and they're all excited about it. And we're trying to twist the parent's arm and saying, hey, it only takes an hour a week of your time. And
Right. Per kid.
Yeah.
It takes a long time to finally get that adult leadership. And by then you've lost a lot of those kids.
And that's cart before the horse. And I've done it that way. And that's not a good way to do it.
Right. And the thing I love about the process that you guys are using is you're taking the steps in the right order. You're going to the charter and organization, talking to them about the leadership, and then maybe supplementing that leadership that they've already helped you find with parents of kids that are recruited during your joining night. So.
Right. Can I put Melissa on the spot here?
Yeah.
Melissa,
Yes.
you have a perspective on this school approach and what it does for your district as well. You
Yeah.
have a peculiar experience with this. Can you share that for a short time?
Yeah. I've worked in a youth activities company for a very long time, and I did already for this year for my districts that I'm under. I did contact all the principals already to find out their plan for next year. But I think that, and I'm sorry if I sound like I'm all over the place, my main question I have for Kelsey is our struggle in scouting is peach jar. And I know Roseburg, and he's from Douglas Fir, correct? Mainly does peach jar. And it's so hard to grow a program of peach jar. I mean, it's easier when you can get in a school district, you know? And so I'm fortunate, you know, in Coquille, that's one of our largest packs. She's the president of the PTA for the elementary school. And she has one of our largest groups in Chinook. And then we have Mike Hamilton down in Brookings.
Yeah, would you talk about that specifically?
I'm sorry?
Talk about Mike Hamilton and what the outcome is down there. Not about peach jar, but what's the outcome when you make the approach to the school and you get the agreement?
Well, and the thing is that the schools there don't promote it either. So what we deal with down there is he uses like social media, he uses the newspaper, he does several events to get everybody involved. So it's like if we don't have schools that are not willing to hand out our stuff, and when I sent my email out to all the principals, I was like, what can Scouts do to help you? What can we do? And I'm sorry that this is a rough time, but going back to what we're talking about with Mike, the schools won't hand out the flyers, but he's all over the community advertising Scouts. And basically right now for him, why we have so many kids is word of mouth. Here in Coquille, they won't hand out the flyers either. They just set them on the table. But if you're a good leader, yeah.
Okay, I don't mean to be abrupt, but I really want to hear what the effect was with the school approach down south. What was the outcome of that? What happened to that pack? They made the effort with the PTO. What happened with the pack?
Okay, I'm trying to understand your question, and I'm sorry if I don't understand it.
Maybe Scott better
Yeah.
can explain that.
Well, at one point, I will tell you, the pack down in Brookings was one of probably the 3 to 4 largest packs we had in the whole council. Now, this is, and it's varied, and I can't tell you exactly how many they have right now registered in that pack, but they've had up to as many, I believe, as 50 some to almost 60 scouts registered in that pack in a town of 6,000. I think basically what the size of Brookings is.
Yeah, and they literally doubled the size of that pack in a very, very short period of time. And a lot of that we attribute to their relationship with the PTO. So what Kelsey's talking about, when you make the contact with the PTO and you get it done the right way, like Kelsey's talking about there, and Melissa, you referred to that, the outcome of that can be just immense. It's hard to believe how fabulous the results can be if you make the approach and if you get the buy-in from the school to allow you to work with the PTO. So I appreciate the perspective on the other things too. Kelsey, you had another comment there, and
I get what Melissa is saying about Peach Jar, and it's awful, and we're stuck with it. And the days of being able to hand out flyers, which were very helpful, I think are pretty much gone in most schools. So how do we deal with that, and how these schools have been dealing with it? And Becca can chime in. She's done some really good things too. Is that I'll stick with these packs that have made a relationship with the booster clubs and PTOs. Booster clubs put on those carnivals and those group events, and when we're their youth group, we're hand in hand with them doing the carnivals, call them whatever those activities are. We're there, we have booths, we're shooting off skyrockets and getting names and meeting parents and recruiting. The days of handing out flyers, which is how I was recruited, which is how my kids were recruited, I think are gone, sadly.
No. I think you're wrong. Well, I guess I guess it depends on where you go, but we've actually had the biggest turnout this year when we went back to the flyers. We had tried social media, we had tried putting things out, because we have 2 school districts that our pack serves. We not only serve Winston, which is pretty old school, they actually give the flyers out, but we also have Roseburg schools in there, which are the Peach Jar or Peach Tree or whatever the heck that nonsense is. And we have really struggled to get into the Roseburg schools. It has been a huge struggle. And so we decided to just start all over again. I designed a postcard that had pack information on the front and troop information on the back, and we started handing it out like everywhere. Jeremy Gilliam, he personally paid for like 1,000 of these things to be printed. That was his donation. We passed them out at the Melon Festival. We passed them out to pretty much any kid that we saw. I emailed and I didn't go to the PTO because there's always a change of leadership at the beginning of the year. I went straight to the principals and I emailed them and said, hey, this is who I am. This is what my pack does. We would love to be able to help if you guys have, a neighborhood, if you have a car wash or a retreat, you need us to help park cars from retreat. Here are some pictures of some flower beds that we made one elementary school. Whatever you need, we are your local Cub Scouts. And then I asked if I could go, and I set up a table and I borrowed that stinky tiger costume, Doug the Tiger, and I showed up to every single PTO or every welcome night, anything that they would let me do, and we hit up every school, and it was a lot of work, but we had a really wonderful turnout. And it's because of those dumb flyers, because the kids would take them home and show their mom and dad. So I respectfully disagree. I think the flyers is what actually brought our pack bigger numbers this year.
Let me make a comment before Scott jumps in. Becca, what you did was you didn't go down one avenue and get turned aside and stop. You went down another avenue, and you went down another avenue until you found the avenue that was going to work for you, and then you pursued that one and began to build that relationship. But you tried multiple approaches, is what you just got through saying to us. Is that right?
Yeah, but I don't think we should discount the flyer thing. Yes, flyers and backpacks are not helpful because Winston does do the flyers in the backpacks. It's awful. Doesn't really work. But if you make that initial connection with the parents, it works.
Yeah.
And that's what that's exactly what I was going to say, Randy. From what I'm hearing, it's not one approach. It's a broad approach, and doing as many of these things as we can to get as much word out as we can through as many avenues as we can. And you know, Beck, I look back and I also think, and we didn't really talk about it, but I remember showing up down at one of your PAC meetings with some pizzas in hand, and you know, and that was when we had a bring a buddy, you know, into the program. So
About a year and a half ago.
Didn't really even talk about either. So.
And just a good point here, Becca brought up the fact that she went straight to principal. Don't forget, the principal is the chairwoman, the chairman, the chairperson of the Booster Club or the PTA and the PTO.
Sometimes it's the people that will actually put them in touch, because like I had no idea who the PTO leader of the schools in Roseburg that I'm not a part of. I had no idea who that was. And when we were chartered, for those who don't know, I came actually from PAC 761 in North Bend at North Bay. And when we started that PAC, the PTO, she didn't like us. And so she didn't want to do anything for us. So I went straight to the principal, and the principal was like, yes, this is awesome. Please do this. And so sometimes it's a personality conflict and people aren't going to like the scouts or you. Like, I think she didn't like me. And so, but going to the principal, because they kind of have to be like bipartisan, like they have to be kind of the even playing field. And I think that sometimes that might be a good way to get in if you're having a hard time connecting with the PTO president.
Yeah, quality remark, no doubt. Just keep just find the right avenue. That's the trick here, not get put off on this thing. We're a couple of minutes away. Any other comments we'd like to make about this topic or introduce something else? I will tell you that next week we'll have Hannah Raines on here from the Great Yaquina District. Kelsey, she's going to give you a run for your money as time goes by. Just write that down. Yeah.
Okay.
Any other thoughts here? And Sherry, you can't have her all to yourself. Jim, good.
So it sounds like marketing and not giving up. Like Randy said, if one thing doesn't work, try another. If Becca puts somebody off, you know, go to the principal. He'll always be your friend. But that's really it, is just don't give up.
Yep. Sherry? You're muted. Oh, you're going? Bye.
Yeah, Jim, you know, to echo in on that too, I've seen where we go in and we ask a question one way and we get a no, and if you just turn it around a little bit and ask it in a different way, sometimes you'll get a yes. You know, I've gone in and found out that we couldn't do flyers in a school, but if you say, hey, can we do stickers and put the stickers on the kid's shirt so that they're wearing them when they go home or something like that, that all of a sudden we could do it, you know, and we couldn't do youth talks in the classrooms, but we could go in and talk to them, and it worked out just great. So
one more thing that really worked for us was we actually had a PAC parent, one of our leadership team, who we made the PTO. It was the PAC PTO member. And we actually had one of our parents go in uniform to the monthly PTO meeting. That way they could not forget us. And anytime they were like, well, we need someone to do this, he would, the rule was you can only volunteer like one major project at a time. And, but that's what we would do, is we would actually have a parent in uniform go up as our official PTA representative. And that was really helpful because they can't forget you if you're staring them in the face in your uniform. So.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Very good. Very good. Becca and Scott, would you two stay on when we wrap up here, please?
Sure.
You don't give me
My
2
job.
more. Anything else for the good of the group here? We are at the top of the hour right now, and I promise you we'd only spend half an hour on it. So anything else we want to talk about? Okay, Honor Reigns is on next week. We've got Jim Smith the week after that, Dean Gamble the week after that. We're rolling, folks. We'll see you on the scouting trail. So
Bye.
be good. Scott, Becca, hold on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.